Greetings, friends! My name is, of course, Charles Cubanks, and I'd like to welcome you back to my playthrough of Knack for the PlayStation 4. Let's resume. I mean, it is a PlayStation 4 original. Oh, hi. Hi, Knack. Hi, little Knack. I don't know how I feel about you. You're kind of cute, but you're also kind of demonic looking. Your ears look like horns. Your red hair looks like... Anyway. Let's get going on this family-friendly adventure.
Woods are full of dangerous creatures.
Dangerous creatures. Ah, yes, they are. Hiya! I'm One Punch Kid. And these are drill beetles? Beetle drills? Ah, yes. Good old Knack. There are apparently sunstones just growing up everywhere, and this is an alternate reality, universe. Oh, okay. Where instead of fossil fuels, everything is crystals and relics from from a society that's ancient and yet highly technologically evolved. Why? Ouch. Why did it explode? Not sure. Now I don't have any hair. That's sad. Cutscene. But it's in-game
An
cutscene.
old structure with some relics in it.
An in-game cutscene using the same stuff as is in the real game. Oh my goodness. The actual game. Same resources. I like the gameplay of this. I like the idea of it being kind of the combat being dash-based. Like you can get away from almost any attack by dashing, but the dashing is so stilted. Like, you only go a few feet. Or a few inches, depending on how big you are. And it also slows you down. You cannot do an attack directly after dashing, which, I mean, you can do an attack, but you can't move after dashing, which makes it kind of useless.
Knack, those traps mean that there are goblins around.
Is that what they mean? I watched my step by running at the traps. And why are these birds able to create whirlwinds? This is made by Japan Studios, so I guess that's... Oh, cutscene, showing a goblin. Now this guy looks like a goblin. He's blue. The normal goblins, I guess, in this world. Oh, 2 hits, huh? Difficulty. Oh, actually got hit. And is this a secret, by chance? Of course it is. But as I was saying, I like the idea of this game, having dash attacks and things like that, but there aren't any dash attacks. It's just one attack and 3 combo move. No secondary attacks. But again, it's an adventure, so you don't need tons of combos, but it's also very combat heavy. So why would you do that? Why would you make it like this? Make up your mind, developers. Okay, so now that I'm bigger and have a little bit more health, I can one-hit those goblins. Which is kind of cool. Yes, I like this place. It's green. It's very bright, too. Almost too bright. Yeah, I'm very glad I didn't do this on hard. You die so often. And on things that you don't feel like you could ever really get away from. Because right there, I used my dash attack, and couldn't get away from that hit. From being hit. See, did it again, and it didn't work. That's the frustration of this game, but I haven't died that much. So, that is definitely something that is wrong with this game. I'm not just complaining. There are certain situations you can get yourself into that require you just to wait. Like, all of this game's combat is based on waiting and watching to make sure that your enemies are done with their attack animation before you attack them, which is rather kind of lazy in my book. You can't chain together combos or approach enemies in a way that you would want to approach them. You have to do these dashes. Oh, dang it. Those guys in the distance got me. But I have a lot of... Ah, my hair. When will I get it back? Still not a ginger. Oh! Yeah, this is the problem with this game. It's the second level, and yet the difficulty is ramped up ridiculously. Oh, come on. And I know, you know, there are some people that would probably say just get good, but this game does not have the best controls. They're pretty floaty. Like, you can't move around fast enough. You can't dash twice in a row. Only that fast. Oh! Yeah, this is why this game didn't get that much attention. Ah! It is based on timing, but at the same time... Good. Got 3 of those guys, that's... Oh, nice. And they also purposefully nerfed, or took the power out of this jump attack. It does literally half of the amount of damage compared to your normal attacks. Which, I think they realize that it's very overpowered if you would use it all the time, because you just want to use your jump attack all the time. Like on this guy, you only need 1 hit, and slow motion! But, for characters where you need more than 1 hit, it's basically useless. You leave yourself open by using it. Yeah. Takes 2 of these, but only 1 of those. And the amount of health that they give you seems rather arbitrary, and the places they give them to you are not very consistent. Okay, here's some health. But it's like, why so little? If you get hit at all, even in normal difficulty, it's half your health. So now I have to do this again. That's just great. Platforming! And, you know, it sounds like I'm just being really harsh, and I am, because there are certain things that this game should know better, and the developers should have known better than to do. And they did anyway. And it just seems like it's a very clear depiction and example in the real world of a game that was completely dominated by a corporate mentality. Oh! I was doing very well up till that point. Because it's all about, you know, like, the looks of it and having a cinematic experience, and the campaign is... I'm glad it has a mainly campaign-focused game. It's a mainly campaign, single-player-focused campaign. And, as well as co-op, it has co-op that's really cool. But, that being said, there are a lot of things wrong with it that just show, like, oversight was rather lacking. And finally, we got to the end of this level. Now going into the mines with a short cutscene.
I found another entrance to the mine.
Good job, Knack. Hold on, I'm almost there.
Does he have kind of a, you know, an African voice because he looks like an ancient relic? Is that what's going on here? Is it primal because they're...
They dug these tunnels 100 years ago, looking for relics.
Oh! And again, like I said in the last episode, this character
but this mine is nearly completely tapped out
is a memorial destroying thug. which kind of shows him as being basically kind of dumb, accidentally destroying the memento of the doctor's wife. But at the same time, he's the hero, which you're controlling. Those bricks should have killed me. But they didn't, because I am the main character. Well, missed him. Also, one other thing that's kind of sad about this game is that in the easy and normal difficulties, I would understand if it weren't in hard, but there is no lock-on system for enemies. So you're just left punching in the dark. That orc is a great tumbler. I'm gonna call him an orc, because, you know, culturally, that is exactly what he is, by the looks of him. Take it! Yeah. For some reason, my mouth was energized at that moment. My teeth glowed golden, if you want to go back and look at that. Don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna use this. Oh. Love it. Epic. So yeah, this game sounds really good in theory, because it's like, your character is based on particle effects, and the health is based on how big you are, and so on and so forth. But, you know, all that has nothing to do with actual gameplay mechanics. If the gameplay mechanics are just
found in buildings like this.
a simplified version of Devil May Cry,
There's no door.
it's not going to get good figures. I mean, you know, this game probably did okay in terms of sales, because they made a Knack 2, which I can hardly believe. But, you know, it's a good child-friendly game. As I was saying, it's not too hard to play and record at the same time with. That's why I'm doing it. It's actually kind of fun. But again, it's mindless, but at the same time it's really difficult. So it's just this big, it's like a cluster bomb to the face. Chaos all the time.
It's the goblin tanks.
Goblin
We got ahead of
tanks.
them somehow.
No, you're right beside them. You didn't get ahead of them.
The road's too old to take much more of that pounding.
Pixar-like animation. They could have just had that as dialogue without this big, huge cinematic cutscene. Like, why was that necessary? They could have saved the graphics and the memory for that cutscene and done something useful. Okay, here we go. Toast! My super ability is taking the clothes off of orcs, apparently. That was easy. Somehow the orcs with armor are easier to kill than the orcs without armor. Now I'm bigger, hallelujah! Yeah. Aha! Although I do love the armor flying off them. It's pretty cool. And cutscene again. But it was short. Hi-ya! I can just run through these things. You don't deserve to live because you're an orc. Or a goblin, I should say. Pathetic creatures. It's interesting to me that, you know, the old games, even Sonic, but specifically the like games that came out late 90s and early 2000s, especially on the PlayStation, had a lot of primal voodoo themed, or, you know, witchcraft and or witch doctor themes in them. Like Crash Bandicoot definitely did. And so does this, so it's kind of taking that same trope and is reintroducing it to the next generation, which
a control room.
is kind of weird.
No relics left in that generator, though.
No relics left in the generator. Guess I have to sacrifice my body mass.
Just a sec, Doc. I'll get the lights on for you.
Like, what are you supposed to be? Like a cop? Buddy cop type? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. His voice and mannerisms. Let's go! I do like how his voice gets higher, at least a little bit higher, when he gets smaller. Secrets! Game pause! Little orange thing. So far, all of the collectibles that I have gotten are disparate parts to different things. So I'm kind of worried that I'm either missing a whole ton of them, or they're just going to be so many sprinkled throughout. And they're all basically for content that is locked until after you play through the entire game. So in order to see their effects, you have to play through the game again, which I'm not sure I'm actually willing to do once I get through this debacle. Well, that was fun. Moving on. See, look, there are relics, apparently, in these minecarts, and yet I'm not able to assimilate them. Why not? Why not, O game developers? Is this another... Oh, an enemy. How counterintuitive. Are you rewarding me or punishing me, game? I'm just kidding. That wasn't punishing at all. That's the thing about adventure games, is this is basically a linear game, which I have no problem with. So you should be rewarded for being able to adventure around and explore. It's cutscene. With a boom, boom, boom.
Now this is more like it.
What is? A cavern?
Do
You like caverns.
that I found you in a cave just like this?
Son? Suddenly
You
I'm
see
treating
that
you like a
pedestal?
child.
You find one of these caves. Like as not, there's a pedestal in it, with nothing on top.
Like a Christmas tree without an
Once.
angel.
Oh,
So
this was
sad.
About 20 years ago now. I found a cave that was different. It is said that
Different.
these places were once alive, that the relics flocked like birds within them. But no one in generations had ever seen it so.
No one had ever seen it
Until then.
like that.
On the pedestal was a glowing orb, and around it spun a constellation of gold and red and blue.
How poetic
I
you're
held out
being.
my hand. I don't know why, and the orb came to me.
Probably because it's a, golden
It took many
thing.
years to unlock the secret of the orb.
I don't know
and
why I held my
strengthen
hand
its
out to
power
it.
100-fold. But at last, I solved the puzzle. And
We
the
know
result
this.
was you.
And he should know this by now.
Let's go take a closer look, huh?
That was strangely like, a father-son moment. Like, I met your mother when I was 20 years old at in an old museum, and we just ran into each other accidentally, and she fell on the floor and I helped her up. And, that's when I knew this was the one. And a year later we were married, and we suddenly had a child, and it was you. A result of our love. I don't know. Did it seem like that to anyone else? Just me? Okay. Die! 2 for 1 special. Want a ham sandwich? Sorry, all I got is a... I couldn't finish that. I'm sorry. Hand sandwich, that's it.
Stay back.
Ah! You know... And they're dead. Just broken bones. The relic is destroyed.
You
Oh,
okay,
there they are.
Doc, never better.
My back! Oh, hey, look, gold. Nobody cares about gold anymore. Because this is a world based on relics. Oh, what even are these things, and why do they exist? There's a lot they haven't explained, and yet they have these huge, massive exposition dumps. But I gotta say, these rocks look very nice. Very nice. The textures, oh! I kind of am disappointed by the platforming, because you can't just jump up certain ledges. Like, all of the ledges are the same distance away from each other. So, like, you have to jump twice for this one, maybe once for that one, twice for this one, twice for this one, twice for this one, twice for this one. And that may not sound like much, but it's gameplay design. It's game design. Like, unless you mix it up, the platforming is going to seem cheap. It's like you're doing the same thing every single moment. I don't know what I did there. Okay. Guess I'm doing this now. Well, this is going faster than expected. Oh, I need a cutscene for that wall. Again, why cutscenes when you could just move on, like, kind of like in Bloodborne. You don't have cutscenes for moving on to the next area. It's all fluid. Dark Souls as well. Maybe it wasn't as fluid in Dark Souls, but you could basically go through the entire game without having a real loading screen or cinematic. Cinematics weren't necessary to moving through a normal level. I do like the graphics of the trails of magic that follow the crystals as they come to you. It's kind of a God of War thing, is having the collectibles and health. You don't have to walk over them. You just have to, like, oh, what are you doing here? Sometimes he just shows up, and it's like, okay, Doctor, you shouldn't be here because there's deadly combat going on. Mortal Kombat! Yeah! Yeah! That was dramatic for no reason. I've been killing enemies constantly, and oh, here we go again. I just like pointing out how many times there are cinematics, because it's just ridiculous to me. I won't get over it. I'm sorry. Oh, look. Rocks falling from the ceiling. Why isn't this place caving in?
That type of rock is very slippery.
Oh. What's it made out of? The sludge of the mucus of an ancient god? A relic creature who had a bad cold or fever? I don't want to know. Take it. I can break through most areas with rocks like this, but not this one. That's okay. Okay. I'm amazed I didn't get hit there. Good thing they have those wooden planks up so I can't get by. Ugh. Matrix. I tell you. Earlier I played this game on hard, and this was like the most frustrating area. I remember coming back and forth and back and forth. Anyway. Slide! Super slide! Yeah! There. I knew there was a reason for that stuff to be slidey. Like, as far as I know, there's no real type of rock that is that slippery. Oh, hey, hello again. Oh, it's because of you, Dr. Vargas. You got in my way. Now you must die. No. He is still my friend. Why does that do so much damage? Okay, yeah, this is exactly the way I was dying in hard mode. So, goes to show you that hard mode isn't that much harder. There's not that much difference. I mean, I am getting through this a lot faster than in hard mode. I love that you can punch up and hit them out of the air. That's cool. Oh! This game basically teaches you to be reckless. To move around a lot and get as close to your enemies as possible. Whoa. Why? Why one hit? Why that? That why? That's what I want to know. This area is just frustrating, that's why. Good thing I can slide my cares away. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah, like I said before, it's synthetic difficulty. Like, you have to do everything the way that the developers wanted you to, instead of the way you want to take out enemies. You have to wait for them to attack, usually, or just run right into them with reckless abandon. It's confusing, to me at least. Maybe I'm just a doof, a doofy-doo, a big dumb doof. But, I don't know. A lot of people didn't like this game, so I'm gonna blame it on the game instead of my horrible skills. Oh! Oh, come now, come now. I was in the air. Oh boy. And it sends you back this far. Why? I am sad. I am saddened. Whoa, you're not dead. Makes me kind of wonder if this game was playtested. And if so, did not the creators or the playtesters get extremely frustrated by this area? And if not, why not? Because, oh, that is baloney. That is the most baloney. I hate it in video games when you can kill each other at the same time, when you hit each other at the same time. That shouldn't happen. I know that happens in real life, that can happen. But in a game, it just seems unbalanced. Like, someone should be the victor. Most video games are kind of based on a three-tier system, kind of like rock, paper, scissors. So if you hit first with the correct, rock should beat scissors. But hey, if rock and scissors hit each other at the same time, they'll both die. That's great game design, huh? Anyway, I'm not even gonna put up this, I'm gonna do this. Ultimate magical attack. I think it really expects you to use your magic ability a lot more, but I'm the type that wants to conserve it for a big battle or something. And there are usually never more than like 4 enemies on screen at a time. Not gonna say anything about this giant creature, huh? Let's have fisticuffs. Very honorable robot this is, not to attack me with the element of surprise, even though he was about to. Yeah! You're toast. Easy. Yeah! He caught me and I got out of it real quick. Real quick. That's great. Yeah, for an adventure game, it's an extremely small amount of adventuring you do. Of exploring and extremely small amount of collectibles. I'm looking around for them, that's what I'm doing. He looks like a Star Trek villain up there.
I thought I heard noises in here. Is everyone all right?
Your robots attacked us.
Really? They must have thought you were goblins. Terribly sorry.